Welcome to the Chinese cooking channel called Chinese Cooking Channel. Today we're making homemade wonton soup. We're making homemade wonton soup from scratch. For this recipe, you can use the wonton wrappers from a store, or you can make your own wonton wrappers. So in the second half of this video, we'll show you how to make your own wonton wrappers, and also show you how to make your own Chinese noodles as well. To begin, let's make the filling. A few stalks of chives. So you can cut off the ends if they're a bit worn out. So the bottom, sometimes a little bit tougher. So you can cut that off too if you like. So you're going to get about maybe a cup of chives right here. I've got about 5 or 6 ounces of ground pork. You can chop the pork for yourself or just buy it already ground up. So I've got about a cup of chives. I'm going to add it to the ground pork. So we have here baby bok choy, which is really good as a filling for wonton. So I have some already boiled here. So these ones have been boiled for a few minutes. So I'm just going to add a few pieces to the wonton. So maybe like a half a cup or so. So just cut the bok choy up. So I'm going to cut it pretty fine here. So we're going to add that to the filling for the wonton, or the dumpling. So when I was in Xi'an, they eat a lot of vegetarian dumplings. So one place, well actually a few places, they only use chives in their dumpling. Nothing else, just chives. But you can put whatever you like in there. You can put prawns, you can put chicken, beef, whatever you like. So I'm just going to add the bok choy into the mixture. So for the filling, I'm just going to mix up the ground pork with the chives and the bok choy. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sesame oil. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. About a tablespoon of light soy sauce. 1 teaspoon of chicken soup base. So just mix that up really well. So the filling, you can use pretty well anything that you like. So this is kind of standard for what I do. You can also add an egg in there. That will help bind the ingredients. Also helps the dumpling skin or wonton skin to stick together. So just add the egg in there and just continue to mix it up together. So that's pretty well it. We've got the filling all ready. So we're ready for the next step. Put 1 to 2 teaspoons of the filling onto a wonton wrapper. Then bring the sides of the wonton wrapper together. So this is just one of the ways you can fold the wonton. Just make sure the filling is sealed, and then you bring the ends together. So just put a dab of water there just to make sure the wonton wrapper will stick together. So that's what a finished dumpling wonton looks like. Put a little water on the edge. You can do just a simple fold like this. Just fold it together, give it a little twist. So you have that basic simple way of folding. Cook the wontons in boiling water for about 2 to 3 minutes. The wontons are ready to be served when they float to the top. To make a quick soup stock, just add half a teaspoon of chicken base to some boiling water. Then you add 1 teaspoon of light soy sauce. I have a little broth in there. Shake a little sesame oil in there for a real nice fragrance. So there you have it, homemade Chinese wonton dumplings. Enjoy. If you want to put some noodles into your wonton soup, just simply bring some water to a boil. And for fresh noodles, boil the noodles for 1 to 3 minutes. For dry noodles, boil the noodles for slightly longer. Now we're going to show you how to make homemade wonton wrappers and homemade Chinese noodles. So we're going to put 1 cup of all-purpose flour into a bowl. Then I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So just give that a good mix right there. Give that a good mix. I'm going to put 1 egg into a bowl, and then I'm going to beat the egg before I put it into the flour. Just mix it in. So the egg is fairly wet, so you don't need to put too much more liquid in there. So you put about a 1/4 cup of water. So just gradually add a 1/4 cup of water in there. So I like to use chopsticks. Chopsticks are good for mixing dough. So now you see the dough is looking slightly shaggy. So just add a little more water there. So just use your hand to mix the dough. So gradually the loose flour will be incorporated into the dough ball. So it's been about a little over 3 minutes. So just form that into a ball. So we're just going to cover the dough like this. Put the dough in the fridge for at least 1 day. So we're just going to roll it out a little bit. Put a little flour on it. So we're just going to cut the dough in half. So you get easily 30 wontons or dumplings from 1 cup of flour. You can have about 30 to 40 medium-sized dumplings or wonton, and 60 to 80 for the smaller size wonton or dumplings. Roll a small piece of dough into a ball, and then flatten the dough and put a bit of flour on it so it doesn't stick. So just push the dough from the center to the outside. The center should be slightly thicker. So if you just rotate it, you'll get a pretty uniform round dumpling. You can leave the wonton wrappers as a circle, or you can cut them into squares. So the squares would be about 2.5 inch square. So we're going to make some noodles here. So we use the same dough that we make the dumplings or the wonton. So just add a little flour here. Put a little flour on your rolling pin so it doesn't stick. If you want thinner dough, just cover the dough with a wet napkin or a wet cloth. So this will help relax the dough. So it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to continue rolling the dough. Okay, so you notice the dough is actually more relaxed now, eh? So you can actually roll it out even thinner. Just by rolling it, you can feel the different texture of the dough already. So this makes it quite easy to roll it even thinner. So the people in Xi'an, they like their noodles a little thick and dense. I'm used to noodles that are thinner. So it's just a personal preference. So what I'm going to do now is just to take the short side and roll it from the outside to the middle. Just spread a little flour in the middle there so it doesn't stick. So just loosely roll the flour from both sides towards the middle. Now you're going to cut the noodles right now. So you're just going to cut the noodles fairly thin. So when you unravel the dough, you'll get strands of noodles. So you can do whatever width that you like. Some people like the wide noodles, some people like them thin. So I'm just going to do them fairly thin but not too thin. So I'm going to spread the noodles on a plate. You don't want to bunch them together too much. So I've just got a regular size plate here. So when you unravel the noodles, give them a stretch if you want them a little thinner. You can also bang them up a little bit on the board. So the ends, just unravel the ends there. Give the noodles a pretty good bang there. They get fairly long noodles here. So these ones are about, you can stretch it out even 3 feet. I got them going about 2.5 feet, some of them. So you can see it's a pretty stretchy noodle here. So we have some noodles here. So this will be enough for 2 people. I'd like to wish our viewers a happy new year and all the best in the new year. So thanks for your support throughout the year, and I look forward to making more videos for you in the new year.